All right, so all of these have been expanded appearance, and I use the Pathfinder Unite or the Shape Builder tool to make them as one shape. Um, some of them completely broke. Like this was a bunch of weird lines, and it completely just destroyed it. This was a bunch of arrows, and this is what it ended up doing with it. So when you expand the appearance, some weird things are going to happen. This was dashes and dots, and this is what happened with it. But that's okay. Now you kind of know that sometimes things will break when you do this. So the point of doing this, one, is that now you have a fill and a stroke shape. You can go in and start playing around with the outside line and the inside color and completely change what is going on with this design. In the stroke menu, as long as you're showing the options, you can change where the stroke is, if it's on the outside or inside. You can add all kinds of different effects to the actual fill colors. You can go in and make this design really colorful and customized, and that's what I want you to do now. Go through, choose new outlines, choose new fill colors, see what happens when you do that to some of these, see if it breaks them, see if it makes them look better. The idea is that you get to see what happens when you do something like this to a design that you've made, so that you can kind of see what kind of happy accidents might happen that will change everything about your design. That's kind of cool. What it would look like with different colors. Blue, like a purple. So, go change the stroke and fill on every one of them. Play around with the alignments of the stroke. Play around with the corners, the caps. Like, dabble. Really, really dabble. Play around with some of these things so you can see if anything changes, if it improves it, if it makes it worse, if it just... That's kind of cool, I like what it did there. You can see on the ends, it went from having a sharp point on some of them, it actually rounded them over. But that's what you're doing for this last part. Save it, you file, save as, change it to shapes. So Pemberton CNL Shapes, or your last name CNL Shapes. For the Illustrator file, then export it as a JPEG. Do that to every one of them. Change the fill, change the stroke, change how the stroke is cornered, if it's mitered, like change all of this stuff, play around with it, see what happens to it, turn in the results.